It won't come as a surprise to those of you who know me that I'm a big fan of affirmations, mantras, and positive thought patterns. But did you know there's a science behind it? They say you can go without food for 3 weeks, without water for 3 days, but you can barely survive 3 minutes without hope. In this video, we're going to talk about why our brains love affirmations, why they give us hope, and how it actively reprocesses our self-sabotage and regulates our breathing patterns simply by putting our affirmations through our vocal cords. If you've ever wondered how, or even if, affirmations actually work, there's good stuff today, so stay tuned. Well, hi there and welcome. My name is Remy, like Do-Re-Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women with big-ass dreams just like you who want to get unstuck from a life that doesn't work and get to where you know you need to be, into a life that's filled with passions and purpose. Now let's get started with today's episode. Okay, let me jump off the screen here and change over to my laptop. We often talk here about positive thought patterns. Some people think they work beautifully and others don't, often because they feel like their affirmations are lies, and so resistance bubbles up to the surface. But there's actually a science behind affirmations and thought patterns. They say you can go without food for 3 weeks, without water for 3 days, but you can't survive 3 minutes without hope. And being a natural optimist myself, I can definitely see the truth in that. Today, we're going to talk the science behind affirmations, why our brain responds so well, why we need to engage our vocal cords, and how the brain can shift itself out of self-sabotage patterns and into success patterns. If you aren't getting the success you want in full abundance, however you identify with success, and if you're wanting to tap into a greater knowingness and align with higher frequencies so that you can attract the success you're craving, then this episode is for you. Maybe it's time to open up to your hidden power and create something unimaginable, something totally unreasonable, something that maybe even seems impossible, to kick your whole life and all your success into high gear for whatever success means for you. And today, I'm going to try and get you one step closer. As business owners, change makers, thought leaders, innovators, disruptors, or even if we haven't found the right fit in the world yet, whether we're talking about our relationships at home or at work, or when we're talking about our finances, sometimes we find that we're moving away from success. So how do we overcome this? How can we find the clarity and courage we need so that we can unlock our hidden power? Well, it's time to be unabashedly, unapologetically, happily untethered to the ego thinking that can sabotage our success. It's time to tap into our soul connection instead, so we can broadcast our hidden power from the hilltops and advance our soul's agenda. This episode is for you. If you wonder, do we need to overcome self-sabotage or simply set up a new pattern? Is meditation better than affirmations? Specifically, is there an ideal prosperity meditation, one that doesn't accidentally call in old beliefs and poverty consciousness? Are daily affirmations better than just one mantra? Yes, these episodes are about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy. Because when we're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has us stuck. It's our energy that's become stuck in doubts, worries, frustrations, indecision that can come from life's challenges, especially because of a spiritual injury we've experienced, some kind of hidden trauma that's interrupting our soul's work. We can dissolve the obstacles in our path with a simple shift in energy. We can get out of doubt and move on with our life because our choice of frequency changes the course of our journey so that we don't get stuck in the negative vibrations that block our success. These positive energies that we talk about so much are where we find the magic of alchemy. And using our hidden power means using these positive energies to effect transformation. So, we talk often here about affirmations, mantras, positive thought patterns. Some people think that affirmations work beautifully and others don't, often because they feel like they're lying to themselves in a way. And so resistance comes up to the surface and blows a raspberry. And this is why I often encourage you to find affirmations and then rewrite them to fit your beliefs, what you can align with. But did you know there's actually a science behind affirmations and positive thought patterns? Our goal in life here, especially if we're going to reach higher levels of success, is to find thought patterns that resonate at a higher frequency. And this is where affirmations can truly help us if they're done right. Now, negative thought patterns that are based in conflict, struggle, indecision, frustration, or even anger resonate at a lower frequency. And you've heard me say it before that I used to have chronic frustration, and then I wondered why everything in life was such a constant frustration for me. It's basic math when you think about it. So, to rise up, to evolve spiritually, emotionally, mentally, we want to find thought patterns that resonate at a higher frequency and make that our steady, stable pattern. Thoughts that are based in compassion, gratitude, appreciation, resilience, and other positive energies like that will create patterns. And with patterns, we see momentum. And when we have momentum, we begin to see change in our lives and our businesses. Now, some of us lean away from being too airy-fairy or too Pollyanna. Sometimes it's just that we want to know the why behind what we're doing, or we have a curiosity about how it may work. So let me do my best to give you the science without being too geeky. Now, when we are repeating something in our mind over and over, that information has to be processed in working memory. There's no money, there's no money, there's no money. That's a pattern of thoughts. And it's information that has to be processed in our brains, but it's also at the same time calling in situations from the universe that match that thing that we're repeating over and over and over again. That creates a pattern. But check this out. If we're speaking out loud, our brain also has to process that too. And our brain can't process both at the same time. So the spoken word generally takes priority. Now, our brain will also make changes in our body to match those words that we're speaking. If we're complaining about our boss or our husband or the family next door, and we're repeating it over and over, we get a physical reaction. Maybe that shows up as a headache or a stomach that's tight or even shallow breathing. So just imagine all systems in our inner and outer worlds are in overtime, aligning with whatever energy patterns that we have. Now, here's the fun part. When we can choose an affirmation that really resonates with us, then our working memory is taken up with processing those words, and it literally can't process any thoughts of doubts or worry or anxiety at the same time. The idea is that we want these positive thought patterns to be the primary thing for us, the main force through life. So let me say this again. If our working memory is taken up with processing positive thoughts and affirmations, it literally can't process any negative thoughts or worries at the same time. So we want these positive thought patterns to be dominant. Now, I'll tell you why this all works in just a minute, and it has to do with our vocal cords. But there's a second benefit to speaking positive thoughts, and that is that the brain has to regulate our breathing as we speak. Of course, that's what makes a mantra a mantra. A mantra is a word or a sound that's repeated out loud. If you'll notice, we only vocalize when we're breathing out. We only speak while we're breathing out. That's when we're engaging our vocal cords. And there's a part of our brain that's meant to regulate our breathing pattern with our vocal cords and the mantra that we want to speak or the song we want to sing. Make sense? This is the science behind affirmations and mantras and why vocalizing them can be so powerful. It creates amazing focus within our brain and shifts our well-being in the meantime. Now, I had a client one time who was going through a breakup. I don't know if it was a breakup really, but the guy moved across the country for temporary work, and she missed him so much. And so every morning and every night on her walk, she'd sing that little song, "You Are My Sunshine." It literally became a mantra. It became a dominant thought for her. And she told me that she often just had that song in her head throughout the day as well. That's how dominant that thought or that song was. And sure enough, within a matter of weeks, he turned around and moved right back. Now, what's important about this is that when he came back, she quickly realized that she didn't actually enjoy his company. He was quite abusive, really. And so when she was suddenly met with a quiet life after he moved, she didn't know what to do with that. The quiet was uncomfortable. And in that vacuum of quiet, well, she began to miss him. And so that little song, that little mantra became a tool that she used. And she told me, wow, boy, that mantra really worked. And I'll never do that again because it worked too well. Be careful what you ask for, as they say, because you just might get it. And that's why I want you to be sure that you're searching for and using affirmations that really resonate with what you want to create. So that's the science behind positive thought patterns. Our brains can't process the positive thought patterns and negative thoughts at the same time, but it will try and process whatever's dominant. Want to amplify the power behind your affirmations? Well, vocalize or sing them. Now, I also want to talk about the other side of this positivity, and that's self-sabotage, because so many experts and life coaches and therapists say to us, let's get rid of those limiting beliefs. Let's find out what's blocking you so that you can just move on. Overcoming self-sabotage is a big thing, and it deserves a little attention. But before we do that, I just want to take a minute for this little reminder. If you already know that you're ready to dissolve life's obstacles that are on your path to success, if you already know that you're ready to do your soul's work and be a creator, then you might be ready for this amazing new tool to get you moving into some better patterns and frequencies where success can find its way to you. It's called the Alchemy Matrix, and it's going to help you, as they say, create your destiny. It's an interactive roadmap designed to help you solve problems, dissolve barriers, heal spiritual injuries, and bring in a lot of clarity so you can just create a future that you'd like to see. This is just a brief reminder that you can sign up to learn more about the Alchemy Matrix at successcircleworkshops.com. And I promise to tell you more about that here in just a minute. So let's talk about this other side of positivity, which is self-sabotage. You know, I was looking over some material the other day, and the author was on the subject of prosperity and financial abundance. And she was saying things like, let's go back to the origin of any lack or poverty consciousness that you hold. Let's look at this self-sabotage. Let's release any beliefs that are affecting you consciously and unconsciously. And what struck me as funny is that there was an assumption made that poverty consciousness exists within the reader. And this is a common assumption when we talk about prosperity obstacles, but is it true? Does the person have poverty consciousness, or is it something else? Could it simply be a pattern? The other thing that struck me as funny is that while I can see the merit in thinking that we might want to go back to the origin of poverty consciousness, this also violates the basic tenets of the law of attraction, because when we think about problems or lack, we get more and more problems and lack. And you've heard me say it before that problems are swimming in resistance. So why would we want to go back and look at that? So while I can see the temptation of trying to find the roots of poverty consciousness, at the same time, I'm asking myself if it really matters. Do we really need to go back and find limiting beliefs, or could we simply set up a new pattern? So as you're looking for affirmations and mantras that resonate with you, or as you're writing your own, just ask yourself whether you want to call in past pain and failures. We have a choice in how we react and respond to our challenges. We have a choice whether we go towards darkness or go towards light. Will we grow and expand, or allow the negativity of limiting beliefs to take us over? We have a choice. For me, if my objective is to raise my frequency so that I can grow and expand into a new level of success, I'd rather not go back and look at poverty consciousness that I may or may not have once held. I'd rather not go back and unearth limiting beliefs that someone thinks I have. I don't want that in my consciousness right now or ever. So for me, I'd rather look for the light than look for the darkness. So let me pull up on the screen here the original thought. Let's go back to the poverty consciousness and let's rework it a little bit. Let's go back to the origin of your abilities to create, enjoy, and share affluence. I'd rather look for the light. Just me. Try this on for yourself, though, and see whether you feel a difference between these two perspectives. One looks for the negative and the other looks for the positive. And then do what works for you, because one might work better for you than the other. Now, I'm often asked, if I were going to write a prayer or a meditation around prosperity, what would it look like? And so I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. And here's, for me, what the prosperity meditation in sort of an ideal sense would look like. I call upon divine source and all universal energies. I acknowledge that I have experiences that may have affected me in a negative way, consciously or unconsciously. I ask for your help to liberate any thoughts, beliefs, vows, covenants, contracts, protections, or patterns which came from these experiences, and purify them for me. As I open to the flow of abundant prosperity in this moment, please take me back to the origin of my abilities to create, enjoy, and share affluence. I remember my abilities as a creative vibrational being who directs positive energies toward most joyful, prosperous, and loving outcomes in every area of life. I am filled with gratitude as I step into the flow of prosperity and abundance, new ideas, and new situations. I invite endless prosperity to flow to me and others in the most joyful ways. I invite so much prosperity that I can do what I enjoy most, which in turn raises the energy of everyone around me. I invite prosperity to fill and overflow in my life, bringing me everything I need and want in beautiful abundance. I invite prosperity to enhance my love and happiness in magical ways, and for that magic to be shared with all of humanity. And so it is. So if I were to do a meditation around prosperity, that's what it would look like. My question for you is, would you rather use a meditation like this? Would you rather use daily affirmations? Or would you rather use one really good mantra or a little song? For me, although I use it all, I actually prefer one really good mantra. I may change it up from time to time, but I tend to always have just one at the front of my mind. What do you prefer? Meditations, affirmations, or mantras? So here's your exercise for today. I'm inviting you to create a meditation, an affirmation, a mantra, or a song around an obstacle or a challenge that you're currently experiencing so that you can begin to change those thought patterns. You can use the one I've given you as a starting point to create something entirely new. But the one caveat is that it must have the phrase, I remember my abilities. It must have that phrase, I remember my abilities, because I just want you to try this on. So let's go back here was the original here on the screen. The original one said, let's go back and look at the poverty consciousness. But then the alternative is, let's remember the origin of your abilities to create. It's just good to find out what works best for you, because one of these will probably work better. And you might even want to try both simultaneously at the same time and then see what kind of result shows up. I'm simply asking you to try something different and see whether it feels different for you when you look for the light rather than the darkness. Either one is fine, but I'd like you to try them both and see which one is better. If your challenge is with financial abundance and prosperity, then your meditation might start with, let's remember your abilities to create, enjoy, and share prosperity. If your challenge is in some other area of life, like a relationship, let's remember your abilities to create, enjoy, and share love. You get the idea. Simply customize this for your situation, but instead of looking for blocks or limiting beliefs, let's look for the natural, innate abilities that you once had and still have. And so that's your exercise for today as we create a flow of positive possibilities to fulfill your soul's work and the growth and awakening that your soul is seeking, and we create that flow for your success. All that's required from you is a shift in frequency, because your choice of frequency can change the course of your journey. And this shift toward a higher frequency is really what the spiritual awakening journey is all about in so many respects. Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles into positive new successes. But if you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck, you can tell me about it. You can leave me a question here. Or if you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks, to transform challenges into success, you can find out more about our events at successcircleworkshops.com. This is where you can learn more about the audacity of alchemy and how to unlock your hidden power. You'll get a personalized interactive roadmap that's custom designed to get you unstuck by unlocking your hidden power and create big, magical changes. You'll learn to solve problems, dissolve barriers, and bring success to you. So don't wait. Go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized alchemy matrix package right now. And here's what you'll get: a full-color workbook filled with hands-on exercises to inspire your creative energies, membership in your very own success circle for high-level masterminding and networking, your very own customized alchemy matrix to unlock your hidden power and bring success to you, and your very own personal unstuckologist. Remember, the Alchemy Matrix is the only tool of its kind, and it's only available here. So if you're ready to approach your life's challenges with audacity, if you're ready to finally banish frustration, indecision, and the negative spiral, if you're ready to watch success materialize right before your eyes, then go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized Alchemy Matrix package right now and watch the magic start to happen. Thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and I look forward to seeing you in one of our upcoming success circles. You can find out more at successcircleworkshops.com.